Now at 6, the Missouri community of Granby hosted a day full of Christmas festivities. Plus, crews continue to attend to an oil spill in Washington County, Kansas. And volunteers in Joplin come together to collect donations in the annual Chase the Chill event.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The little town of Granby, Missouri is celebrating its Christmas Day with all kinds of different activities. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Cale Chapman. From a variety of handmade crafts, gifts and boutiques, taking family photos, kids writing letters to Santa, and even coloring him pictures, this event had it all. One organizer said the event is meant to help the community.
We provide clothing for students in need. We provide food for students that are food insecure within our school district. And this event just raises money so that we can continue that program.
The Granby Christmas Parade was held along Main Street. The KCS Holiday Express train has returned to the rails for the first time since the pandemic. This year, the 6-car train will bring Santa and his elves to 20 communities in 8 states. One of those communities was Pittsburgh. The train made a stop at the intersection of Elm and Monroe earlier today. Families were able to board the train to tour its festive cars and meet Santa Claus.
I think it's been significant for everybody, but it's unique to each individual, their own experience, you know. But for myself personally, it's just nice to kind of be back out amongst everyone again and be able to socialize in a way that feels safe, like we're doing tonight.
In its 21 years of operation, the Holiday Express has raised more than $2.5 million for charity. On Friday, emergency crews were preparing to work through the weekend in Washington County, Kansas, where a leak of nearly 14,000 barrels worth of oil spilled into a creek. This is the third spill over 1,000 barrels on the Keystone Pipeline since it opened in 2010 and the biggest in Keystone history. The pipeline is currently shut down and a containment area has been set up by crews to stop the spill from flowing further downstream. The spill has not threatened the local water supply, and livestock owners in the area have been notified. Sam Lane joins us with a first look at weather.
Thank you very much, Cale. Yeah, we had some rain last night and into the morning hours, but radar right now is all clear. All of that has moved off towards the south. In fact, we had quite a bit of rain across the area. A good chunk of the area got an inch or more. Even some places down in southern Barry County, they got over 2 inches of rain last night, south of Cassville on over towards Branson. Also a stripe of heavier rain up towards the north and west from Independence to Parsons to Nevada. And we're going to see some more rain in our forecast, but first we're going to see the sun return tomorrow with an early week warm up and then maybe a severe threat on Tuesday and then a cold snap after that. And I'll have all the details coming up in just a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. An annual event in Joplin is providing warmth to those in need this winter. Chase the Chill, Southwest Missouri is an event where hundreds of volunteers come together to collect donations of winter clothing such as scarves, stocking caps, and gloves. This year, the volunteers collected nearly 2,000 items to help warm up those in need.
Just overwhelming happiness is just to see that there are so many kids in the community that need help buying winter accessories for school that stand at bus stops. It's not just the homeless, it's not just low income. There are so many wide ranges of people that this helps. And to know that when we started, we were passing out 300 items to a few people, and now this year we're around 2,000, and that people are waiting out there for us. Like, I really need these winter accessories to stay warm this year, and I know these people are going to come and give me some. That is just an overwhelming feeling of greatness.
This is the 8th year volunteers have done the Chase for the Chill event in Joplin. Students in Pittsburgh had a chance to start their day off by meeting jolly old St. Nick. Pittsburgh High School hosted a breakfast with Santa himself. It wasn't just about a good meal, though. The PHS Theater Department performed a 20-minute student-written and directed play, and a chance to take photos with the performers afterward.
Well, I think the foundation that Greg Shaw started really made this tradition firm. But like I said, we're very motivated to do this every year, and it's a great thing. So I think just remembering what we can do for some people in the community keeps us motivated to do this every single year.
The event was free and open to the public. It also featured some arts and crafts. Sports reporter and Kansas native Grant Wall died suddenly while covering the World Cup quarterfinals in Qatar. Wall was a CBS Sports contributor and leading soccer writer in the United States. As CBS's Christian Benavidez reports from Miami, the 49-year-old sports journalist dedicated much of his career to advocating for human rights and is being remembered today by the soccer and sports community worldwide.
Famed American journalist Grant Wall collapsed as he covered the World Cup quarter-final match between Argentina and the Netherlands. Other reporters working in the press box at the stadium in Qatar say he fell back in his seat.
The medics were there very quickly, and they, worked with him for, 20, 30 minutes before he was taken on a stretcher.
The World Cup organizing committee said Wall was taken to a nearby hospital, but did not provide a cause of death.
For him to not be with us anymore at such a young age, that's an immense shock.
Earlier in the week, Wall said he had visited a medical clinic for his worsening bronchitis. Wall's wife, Dr. Celine Gounder, who is a CBS News medical contributor, tweeted that she is in complete shock.
It's a tragic loss.
NBA star LeBron James was among many in the sports world offering condolences. Wall covered his first World Cup in 1998. Last month, he received an award for his work from Brazilian soccer great Ronaldo.
The business of football is big now in the United States, but so is the actual sport.
Wall's human rights and LGBTQ advocacy also drew notoriety. During the World Cup in Qatar, Wall reported he was briefly detained for wearing a rainbow t-shirt while covering a match. He also wrote about the conditions migrant workers faced while building soccer stadiums in the Persian Gulf nation. He was honored before Saturday's England versus France quarterfinal match. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
We take this time now to honor a local veteran. Paul Stewart served in the U.S. Army from 1968 to 1970. The Nevada, Missouri native was stationed in Vietnam in the 41st Engineer Unit. Stewart was awarded the Purple Heart for his service. We're proud to salute Specialist Paul Stewart, a four-state hero. Coming up, one stroke study has promising results for those trying to lower their risk. Plus, we take a look at this week's top health stories. That's next on KOAM. A new study shows statins lower the risk of the deadliest type of stroke. The stroke, called an ischemic stroke, is caused by an intracerebral hemorrhage, when blood from an artery bleeds in the brain. And it's the second most common stroke after a blood clot. The new study in the Journal of Neurology used prescription data and the health records of more than 88,000 people in Denmark who did not have a history of stroke. Overall, the risk dropped to 17% when they used statins for any period of time. For those who used statins for more than 5 years, they had a 33% lower risk of a bleeding stroke. The FDA gives a green light for some of the youngest Americans to get the latest COVID boosters, and growing triple threat of respiratory illnesses nationwide. Bradley Blackburn takes a look at some of this week's top health stories.
Seasonal flu activity is high across the country. The CDC reports about a quarter of the nation's lab results are coming back positive. 7,300 people have died from the flu this season, including at least 7 children this past week. COVID-19 cases are also increasing. Hospitals nationwide are under strain from the respiratory triple-demic of the flu, COVID, and RSV. The FDA has authorized updated COVID booster vaccines for children as young as 6 months old. The shots contain components from both the original strain of the virus as well as from the currently circulating Omicron variant. And a new breast cancer study finds many women with 2 or 3 tumors can get by with lumpectomy surgery instead of having their whole breast removed. Researchers tracked 200 women who had multiple lumpectomies followed by radiation. And after 5 years, cancer only came back in 6 women. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
A popular big box discount store is looking at increasing membership fees next year. Costco says it's considering raising its membership fees in 2023. But the company is carefully watching what happens with inflation and a possible recession before doing so. Costco has raised its fees about every 5.5 years, with the last one in June of 2017. Costco says its revenue went up 7.5% in the first quarter revenue to about $54.5 billion. As for raising membership fees, Costco says it's not a matter of if, but when. A little later, Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern compete at the Crimson and Gold Invitational Track Meet.
And we have more rain in the forecast and also maybe a little bit of snow. I'll tell you all about it when we return. Well, we had a lot of cold rain last night, but that has now moved away. And now we're looking forward toward the sun returning to our area, and that will happen tomorrow. So let's get through this evening and we'll take a look at the forecast. Right now, it's a pretty nice evening down in Seneca, Missouri at the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. They had quite a bit of rain down there too last night. In fact, the whole area got lots of rain, especially down to the south. Temperatures this afternoon have been slow to recover. They've been generally in the 40s all day today, 48 in Seneca, 46 in Neosho. 49 was the high in Parsons, 50s out towards the west in Fredonia, Howard, and Sedan this afternoon. And temperatures are still right around that 40-degree mark or 50-degree mark in the region. 47 was the high here in Joplin, which was slightly below the normals of 49 and 30. But notice a very short thermometer today, only 41 this morning. Look at the records, 75 back in 2020 and big old goose egg back in 1995. We picked up over an inch of rain out at the airport. Radar right now is all clear across the area, but that is not the case down in northeastern Texas, across southeastern Oklahoma, where that rain is now spreading across that region into southwestern Arkansas, giving them quite a bit of precipitation. And here in our local area, we're going to see temperatures in the 40s right now, even some 30s showing up like in Iola with 38, 49 in Grove, 45 in Neosho, as well as Cassville with northerly winds. The dew points are also in the 40s and 30s, and that's going to be a factor as far as the forecast tonight, because as the temperature drops closer to the dew point, we'll start to see some fog form across the area, and some of that could be dense in some local spots. Right now in Joplin, we're 46 degrees, north wind at 8, feels like 42, and the dew point's 43, so as a result, the humidity's up there at 89%, and the pressure is rising. Now, we are expecting fog to form again tonight with the rainfall that we've had and the cool temperatures, and then by afternoon, the fog should burn off and visibility is returning back to normal. Temperatures this evening are going to be dropping down into the 30s and 40s across our area, 40s down to the south, 30s to the north, even 28 up in Garnett, so that'll be kind of chilly. Then tomorrow, easterly winds with temperatures rising into the upper 40s to around 50 degrees by afternoon, and then the sun should break out in some areas. Not everyone's going to see rain by Monday, but we'll see those scattered showers moving into our area by Monday morning with lows in the 40s. And then Monday afternoon, breezy conditions with highs in the upper 50s across our area. And then as we go through Monday night into Tuesday, that's when we're going to see the rain really move back into our area. And look at this squall line moving into our area by Tuesday morning, and that will race across our area during the afternoon. And that's when we have the chance of strong, maybe an isolated severe storm or two. Rainfall amounts expected to be right around an inch again with this next storm system, so that'll be helping out the drought situation. A little bit down the road, here's that storm system that's moving away from us. Here's the next big storm that's dropping into the southwest. That's going to eject out into the plains on Tuesday, and then yet we have another storm system dropping down into the deserts of the southwest, and that's going to impact our weather a little bit later on, along with the cold wave across the entire country. And then as we go through time, we're going to see precipitation interacting with that cold air. And yes, that means the possibility of snow as we get closer to Christmas time. All right, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. 53 tomorrow with sun returning, 59 on Monday, 63 on Tuesday with the scattered showers and storms, and then maybe some snow flurries on Thursday, but that will mainly be up towards the north, and then colder towards next weekend. Feels more like winter out there.
All right, yeah, it is starting to feel like winter.
Yep, now we just need a little bit of snow.
Yeah, well, maybe not yet. We can
Not
hold off on
everybody's
that.
happy, that's right.
All righty, well, thank you, Sam. Still ahead, Missouri Southern is on the road today facing Newman.
Yeah, the women aim to stay perfect this year and pick up their 11th straight win. Those details are next. And Pitt State Track and Field hosts the Crimson and Gold Invitational. Highlights coming up. The Missouri Southern women are up to number 4 in the national rankings. The Lions are a perfect 10-0 entering this afternoon's road matchup. Southern wraps up the week against Newman. The Lions roll to their 11th straight win, beating the Jets 89-42. Lane Skylds lead the team with 15 points. Maddie Stokes adds 12 points and 7 rebounds. On the men's side, Southern is coming off a huge upset win over 6th-ranked Central Oklahoma. Today, the Lions keep the momentum going. They dominate the Jets 100-66. 5 players score in the double digits. Vincent Sigmund drops a team-high 19 points with 4 assists and 3 steals. Christian Bundy adds a double-double, 16 points with 10 boards. At the Division I level, Oklahoma is at Arkansas today. Sooners up 6 in the first. Grant Sherfield hits the pull-up jumper. Later, he nails the step-back 3. Sherfield drops 23 points today. But with a few minutes left in the half, Ricky Council drives, gets the bucket and foul. Arkansas leads by 3 at the break. Then the Razorbacks start to pull away. Jordan Walsh steals the inbound pass. He finishes with the two-handed jam. Arkansas tops Oklahoma 88-78. The 6th-ranked Kansas Jayhawks are also in action on the road facing Mizzou. Kansas leads 85-62 with a few minutes remaining in the game. Kevin McCullough has 21 points. Today is the final day of the Carthage Invitational, and the tournament host Tigers have earned a spot in the championship game. Carthage meets Joplin this afternoon in the title game. It's a really good one, tight from start to finish, but the Eagles pull off the win 60-54. All Right leads Joplin with 23 points, and Terrence Gibson finishes with 16. We'll have highlights right here at 10. Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern open the indoor track and field season today at the Crimson and Gold Invitational in Pittsburgh. In the women's pole vault, Pitt State sophomore Kyla Davis wins the event, clearing 4.03 meters. And on the track, the Gorilla men dominate the 60-meter hurdles. TJ Caldwell places first with a time of 7.83 seconds, and Dalen Williams crosses the finish line right behind him in second. On the women's side, Missouri Southern's Kiara Smith races to a first-place finish with a time of 8.45 seconds. Moving now to the 60-meter dash, Tania Looney locks up 4th place for PSU. The freshman finishes the race in 7.55 seconds. And finally, Diego Contreras gets a 4th place finish in the 5,000-meter run. Lots of good results for both those teams. Good start to the season for all those athletes.
For sure, yeah. You love to see the Placer Center, get all those athletes in there. It's a cool environment for sure.
Tons of people out there today.
Heck yeah. All right, well, we'll be right back after the break with more news. Bat mitzvah is a special rite of passage for Jewish girls as they come of age. But instead of a big party, reporter Jesse Mitchell shows us how one girl from New York City turned her bat mitzvah into a mission to help others.
Reverence for the religious teachings of the Torah has etched its way onto Sylvie Weiss's heart. Her family and friends join to celebrate as she walks into womanhood. But for her big day, Weiss wants the focus elsewhere.
I didn't really want all the attention on me. I really wanted to help the community and help people that need it.
Why is that?
Because I think when a bat mitzvah, it's saying you should be an adult now, and adults really do serious things.
She's serious about service. Her familiar face regularly greets neighborhood seniors with food donated to the nonprofit Derot.
I was taking packages from the Derot building, delivering them to people that were homebound and elderly, and when I was thinking of what to do for my bat mitzvah project, Derot came to mind.
She put together a packing party, reaching out to local businesses for donations and enlisting the help of her friends at Ramaz Middle School to fill bags for the seniors she serves, including an array of healthy snacks and games to keep their minds sharp.
What does that say about this new generation, Generation Alpha, and how they want to approach their community?
I think it's so exciting that we're really training leaders of tomorrow, and they're picking up the helm at a very young age and wanting to do more, wanting to give back.
During this season of giving, not even birthday or Hanukkah presents can outshine a genuine smile.
Of course, receiving gifts is always fun, but it does feel good when I'm giving out gifts. Like, I love to find something that's really good for them, and it's just fun to see their face like lift up.
More pleasing than what goes inside the bags may just be the love and energy put into packing them. On the Upper East Side, New York, Jessie Mitchell, CBS News.
Each of Sylvie's friends made 2 bags, one for a senior served by DeRote and one for their own neighbor in need. Alrighty. Well, Sam, what's
we had rain last night. We're going to have the sunshine return tomorrow, and then more storms return on Monday and Tuesday, especially Tuesday. Then we may have some flurries as we move up towards the north especially. And look at how cold it gets next weekend. And yes, there's even some snow in the forecast late in the period. Now, not totally sure on that yet. Don't hold me to it, but that's the way it's looking right now.
Sounds cool. And Danny, what's our final look at sports?
Good day for Missouri Southern basketball. The women and men both win today, and the men drop 100 points on Newman.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
That's a lot.
Pretty impressive. All right, well, that's our time for now. Remember, we're always on at KOAMNewsNow.com and with the KOAM News app. Thanks for making us a part of your night.